Yo, what's the word, man? Welcome into episode 6 of the Kev Gotti Show. You already know, man, it's your boy Gotti. This is episode 6, and we're going to get straight into it, man. So, the last time we met, your boy Kev was getting over the flu, that influenza thing that was going around at the top of the year. A lot of people have got it after me, but hey, I'm finally healed. I know y'all probably was like, why this man up here hackling, cackling, coughing, breathing all heavy in the mic, man? I was toe up, but I still had to come here and do episode 5 for y'all. I'm glad that I was able to come here and do that. We had a good episode, but it's time to get into episode 6, man. So getting into episode 6, I don't know what it is, these numbers are sixes, but 2016 was 10 years ago. And, social media decided to put a trend in, and everybody been posting their 2016 dumps and 2016 trends of what was going on and the music we were listening to back then. Fetty Wap came out of jail, so he was a very intricate part to 2016 when it comes to music. So it's kind of crazy that he got out, and I see he's able to capitalize off of a lot of those old songs because, Fetty Wap was out, for some time before he went in. It ain't like he just been in jail since 2016. So he had some time out, but I think those records after probably didn't, carry as much as those records in the beginning. But really, I didn't really even hear much from Fetty after that. Say that I use 1738 quite a bit. So I think it's good for that, but I just don't get the aspect of, the people that were hating on the 2016 trends. Like, oh, y'all need to let 2016 go. Y'all love 2016 more than this and that. And bro, I really believe that 2016 was the last time that this world was whole. Like, I really feel like that was the last time that this world felt normal. And that goes for everybody because you got to think it was 10 years ago. 5 years ago was COVID. 10 years back to that was 2016. So we was outside having a good time. Once we got to the 2020s where we thought we was finna, prosper and stuff like that, COVID hit. And, a lot of people, I can't always blame it on COVID for the early 2020s, but it played a large part and it affected a lot of people. Like I say, some people flourished, but it affected a lot of people. So, I think 2016 was the last time that we can really remember we had some enjoyment. But, pushing forward, hopefully looking forward, we can just continue to live on and make those memories because in 2016, we didn't even know we was making memories. Like, I'm gonna play this TikTok for y'all.
Ain't nobody said it yet, but bro, we didn't know that we was living nostalgia in 2016. Like, it wasn't no aesthetics. It wasn't it was like, it was pure vibes. You feel me? Just pure vibes. Like, from Snapchat to the iPhone 6 Plus, excuse me, Snapchat filter. You had some of the best music dropped around that time.
I was 16 half of the year in 2016 and I turned 17. So to be 16 in 2016, that says a lot. Like, I feel like I was outside the most in 2016. I was spring break in Myrtle Beach. That was the last time it was lit. I don't think it's been lit since then. We was just outside. Like, we was outside. The house parties would go crazy. Teen parties that they would have in state that I used to live back in North Carolina. It was just a lot. 2016 was just a vibe. Like, you can't even... We just didn't know we was making history. And that's going to roll into my tips about this 90s nostalgia, man. Just like we made history, or we're making history with the 2016 trends and how everybody's looking back on 10 years, I think it's going to be a time period that we're going to look back on it like the 90s, if that makes sense. And with the 90s nostalgia, I know a lot of the old heads now are starting to have issues that we are, reheating the 90s nachos. Now, what I will say, it has been reheated a little bit too much because, every party want to be Freaknik style. Every party want to have like just 90s attire, on the flyer or whatever the case may be. But I really believe that, when it comes to the 90s, that was just a time period where people worked together and made things work. And I think now in today's time, we don't do that. And, just speaking about it, like things like the Source Awards, Video Music Box, even fast forward a little bit to 106 in Park, now BET Hip Hop Awards is no longer have a home right now. Soul Train Awards, these things no longer have homes. And I think in the 90s, these were things that were thriving because they were just like developing or advancing. And I think what happened was a lot of the artists that were coming up around the 90s now got into a place where they were put into position to take these chairs and, you know, get on boards at certain award shows. And I think that it created a situation with artists that probably didn't get along, created problems with labels that were, you know, in competition. I just think a lot of that played a part in the downfall of it all, because we look so heavily on the 90s because that was the last time that, you know, it was a sense of togetherness, if that makes sense. You know, I think with today's time, everybody's, I don't with them, I don't rock with them, or, you know, I'm not going to this TV network, or once you go work with this TV network, you can't go work on this one, you know. So I just think that the 90s was the last time that people really tried to make things work. I think we got to start coming back together. You don't see people coming together to do things because everybody is trying to, I guess, compete with one another, when you still got to create. And you still got to come together to create. And I think that that's the biggest thing. And I would love to see that in 2026 and, you know, on further. I just think we got to start coming back together and putting in time with artists, with actors, with everything involving entertainment, if we want to see it last, so we can look back on years, another 30, 40 years from now, and say, okay, this was a moment in time. But I think we're creating that, man. We've seen it with the 2016 thing. I just didn't understand the haters that were hating about it. And then the people that, you know, were too young to remember, oh well. But everybody was outside in 2016. 2016 was a good time for everybody at every age, no matter if you was 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or 70. 2016 was that year, man. So, you know, another thing that's been going on, my boy Cenat has been in the media for a while. You know, he was on a hiatus, I shall say. Then Stream Awards came out, then it just been trickling on down from there, man. So Cenat posted on his KC3 hidden Instagram that, you know, he had been taking classes and perfecting his craft when it comes to clothing designing, because that's what he announced that he was taking a break from streaming from doing. So he posted on his Instagram, this private YouTube page that, you know, he was doing all these videos on it. He's been doing for months. So it's like pretty much who's seen it is who's seen it, if that makes sense. And now once it was shared, you know, of course, everybody hopped on and produced the clips. Then all of the clips started coming out. So everybody started making their theories on Kai, because he was showing him reading books, you know, just advancing. And I think that it's important that Kai do that, because he have such a large audience, and he really have an age group on lock. Kind of like, you know, I can't really think of anybody to compare to Cenat other than a rapper. Like, you would think of somebody like a Soulja Boy or Nicki Minaj, how they were when they came out. They had a certain generation on lock. So I think that he has a lot of eyes on him. And I think it's very important that he show and lead by example in a different way. Now, you know, that's not to say this is probably just him on his self journey of developing who he is as a person, because he took that time away. But I think it's important that he's sharing that. A lot of people didn't understand why you would, you know, come back and months later share you on YouTube when you announced that you was taking a break from streaming. So it's like a 50-50 thing there. But I totally understand what he's doing, because you got to think, man, Mafiathon 3, if you really watched that last Mafiathon, Kai was kind of at a wit's end with everybody. He was kind of getting fed up. And, you know, as much as they post clips, if you are actually active on Twitch, or you're subscribed to Cenat, or, you know, anybody that may have been streaming the Mafiathon, you would have seen that Kai was kind of, you know, getting fed up with his boys. And he was like, hey, after Mafiathon, I'm going to be moving different. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all, like, everything about to be different. And I think that a lot of people probably underestimated that, or was looking over what he was saying. But throughout Mafiathon 3, it was not the same as the past Mafiathons. And, you know, that was clear. It was like a lot of people probably got comfortable. I'm not saying anybody in particular, but it just seems like they got comfortable with the situation. And, you know, you can very much forget that you're there to work, because your friend is this billionaire or millionaire, whatever the case may be. And, you know, he have all of these stars coming out and the eyes are on him. You know, you're very much there hustling as well to build your name and to help the Mafiathon be a success, because y'all helped the past one be such a success, which is why y'all were brought back on and stayed the entire time. Because Mafiathon 2, you guys came out at a certain point. Then when Mafiathon 3 came around, you were there the entire time. All of y'all was in one house. So you have to understand, you were brought back off of the demand from the people. And I think that everybody just got lax. Everybody. Like, I don't know what it may have been. I'm gonna just say that everybody. Like, it was Talil, I would say consistently. Dez, I want to say, and Punga were the ones, and I want to say Reggie too, were the ones that was getting up every day, making sure they was going to the gym. Not to say the other ones didn't, but consistently on a regular basis, when I would tune in for those morning streams, I would see the same people up with him, and he would be saying the same thing. Hey, like, y'all moving like this, and I'm finna start moving like this. So I think that that's exactly what Kai did. And, you know, a lot more has unrolled with that. His girlfriend Gigi, you know, his ex-girlfriend now, they broke up. She is now starting to speak out and tell her truth. She decided to expose messages from Dez trying to holler at her from 2021, you know, then talking about the Shay was trying to get with it too.
Deals to make money. Where was all these followers and these brand deals? Where was all this money and all this Gigi IMG as before Mr. Cenat? Please tell me now.
Just a lot of messy things going on, but one thing that I think she said was true was, you know, everybody tried to portray like Cenat just became this person because it's been attached now that he's different, he's weird, or his energy is not the same, or he's been cloned. Like, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that has been said allegedly that just makes zero sense that people have been developing about Kai. And I think one thing that she said amongst all of the BS that she trying to attach is that, you know, this is something that he was always going to do. And I think he said that. And I knew that something was coming. I didn't know what it was. I didn't understand, though, how my boy said he was done with the stream and put out the whole thing to go do clothing and then posted the videos on the private YouTube. I didn't understand that because I knew what that would create from just the clip world on TikTok. Now, moving on to TikTok, an agreement has been reached, man. So TikTok has been officially sold to the U.S. I'll go ahead and read a little statement that was posted by AP News. TikTok has finalized a deal to create a new American entity, avoiding the looming threat of a ban in the United States that has been in discussion for years on the platform, now used by more than 200 million Americans. The social video platform company signed agreements with major investors. The new version will operate under the defined safeguards that protect national security through comprehensive data protections, algorithm security, content moderation, and software assurance for U.S. users. The company said in a statement Thursday, American TikTok users can continue using the same app. So I know a lot of people was wondering if we were going to have to download a new app. It's still going to be operating off the same app, but, you know, it's just going to probably a little bit more sensorized and safe. Now, what that means for the algorithm and paid content creators, I don't really know, but I'm sure more statements about that will come out because for a while, I think y'all have been getting paid by the original team of TikTok that is not here in the US. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But man, you know, I thought that was a big news because TikTok disappeared. Remember, we all did have TikTok for what? But like, it was probably like 4 or 5 hours at max. A lot of people was out with TikTok, some 12, but at the max, you know, it was that. But, you know, I think that that's good that TikTok has finally, you know, reached a deal because it's the number one most used app now today. And it's just used for so many more things. Like being used more than Google now is absolutely insane. And, you know, it's just a wide range of things that they can reach. I love that they have the STEM tab where you can go and learn. I love that they have the shop where it's like an Amazon aspect. I love that you can just watch videos. It's like, it just developed so much from what we had back in 2016 to go back to Vine. Like TikTok has just became so much into think that app was going to leave us, you know, that was devastating. And all the people that make money off of TikTok. So I know that they're happy, man. But in other news, Iyanla Vanzant has returned, man. Iyanla returned with her show on OWN, man. It is a twist from Fix My Life. It is called The Inside Fix. So from what I've seen, man, she is going now through all of the old files and just reviewing those episodes. And I think she's going to plan on meeting with some of those people to kind of see where they have advanced that in their life. I seen she was on Tamron Hall's show, and they had Evelyn Lozada from Basketball Wives, who's married to Chad Ochocinco, come on. And, you know, she did the show years back, freshly out of the divorce with her Ochocinco. We all know the alleged, the domestic abuse that, you know, took place in that relationship. They have since moved on, and I think they're good friends. But, you know, they just wanted to see how far she have come. And she was just saying, you know, it's a continuous journey. You know, a lot of people point the finger that she's on the reality TV show and how, you know, when they see her on there, they're like, oh, you didn't change. But she's like, you know, in real life, I wouldn't be put in situations where I'm at a heat of a moment with people that I don't really like or being around people I don't really like. I think that's what we really get confused when it comes to reality TV. I think that a lot of people don't realize that it is reality produced, meaning that a lot of the stuff that you see, it's not to say that it's fake, but it is a scene where you might be going into the scene and may say, hey, I'm telling Kev that you was talking about him last week and you have to say what you said on camera to his cousin. All right. So if somebody coming into a scene with me with that, I'm already going to come with another energy because, all right, why you talking about me? Then they going to tell me some other stuff, or another producer might amp me up on this. So just a lot of things that I think that the internet and people on the outside don't, oh, Lord, my bad. The internet and people on the outside don't really be knowing, and it just be a lot of scuttlebutt and people just be making conversation. And that's going to roll right into beep, beep, beep. Is that bleep? Is that you talking to me? What if I don't even know you exist? Is that beef? I broke weight. It's that teeth. Yo, shout out to Nicki Minaj, man. The headlines were saying that she was going to lose her home over a $500K judgment from a situation that happened on tour with her husband, allegedly breaking somebody's teeth. But Nicki been told y'all on beep beep. So I just wanted to make clear that her home will not be sold. She paid that judgment at the last minute. I would have paid it at the last second. Apparently from the jump, she said it was some miscommunications with the servants of it all, and they tried to, I guess get ahead of it then, but it was kind of too late. So she waited to the last minute. TMZ and all of these other programs, they did their due diligence. I was surprised to see that they posted an update because, a lot of people like to drag Nicki and talk about all of the left field things or political views that she may be into, and when she's into it with somebody else, they put the focus on her. So I think it was good that they posted that and kind of cleared it up because everybody wants to make it like Nicki is broke or something. And why is anybody speaking on a millionaire, that is clear that it's a millionaire from the tour alone? So you're telling me you don't think if Nicki was really in need and, she had to leave her house where she is at raising her child and with her husband, that she could have just easily picked up a show if she was that much in need? How much do you think she get a show? She told y'all, I just got $250,000 for a verse. I don't know, is it me or is your thirst? Like, come on. Like, we have to stop with the dumbness. And then it'd be people that, are not even in that tax bracket that was making assumptions when it first came out. Like, I bookmark a lot of people, and I was ready to at them yesterday, but I just kind of let things roll and, I ain't even paying no mind because I'm like, sometimes you just gotta let people talk and the truth shall set you free, man. And that's just what it is. Like, we can stop with the Nicki hate. I don't know if the album's gonna drop on 3/27/26. I'm hoping. But I've been checking like all of the submissions where songs and stuff should be. I have not seen anything on the upcoming release calendar. Maybe I need to call Republic and see what's going on with that Nicki album, man, because it's gonna be time for a rollout or something. But where would we go for our rollout? Whew, I don't know, man, but on another tip, man, I would like to move into this weather that is coming, this snowstorm that is coming, that they have scared everybody across the East Coast. I think past the East Coast, man, they scared everybody about this snow. Everybody went to the store and, buy up everything. This happens every time they announce it. And when in New York in particular, where I'm at, in New York in particular, where I'm at, they were stating that, we can expect anywhere from 12 to 13 inches and, prepare for a whiteout or blizzard conditions tomorrow and, all of these things. So, your boy Gotti, I'm like, I'm in New York City. Every time it snow here, I'm not from here, but I'm like, every time I snow here, by the time I walk outside the next morning, the street sweepers then came and shoveled up the snow. The streets are good. Everything's operable. So I didn't think that it was a big deal. I didn't go to the store and buy anything until I was at work yesterday. Excuse me, y'all. And I'm talking to one of my coworkers. I'm like, yeah, so everything be open, right? They're like, oh, well, it might be a blizzard, this, that, and the third. So they scared me a little bit. So I went to the store today, got a couple snacks that I feel like I'm going to probably eat when I leave here because I'm finna go Netflix and chill. Like, what else could you do when it's cold? So I just want everybody to be safe. And I do know that in the South, it's a little different. And, people at a disadvantage from people like up north because they're prepared for things like this. I know in Georgia, like, it get bad quick. I remember last year, I was at home for a couple days in Atlanta, and me and my sister, it was like it was a snowstorm. We last minute. We we just faring in this world. So, we like, oh, well, let's just call the Uber, go ahead to the store because it started snowing. By the time we leave, the store was never less than like 5 minutes from my crib, and get to the Kroger up the street, and we get out the car, go in the store, go shopping, call the Uber to come back. Just in a matter of time, the roads was freezing over to where cars were stuck where they were at. And that's just a sense of poor preparation because states down south don't really prep for stuff like that. So when it do hit, it is a hit hard type of situation. So people never really know how to prepare. And that's the same thing with kind of hurricanes. We pretty much just be like, okay, well, they said the last one was going to be heavy. They said this one's going to be heavy. So it's kind of a game of just playing it by eye. And, I just hope everybody down south and from Georgia and below, because North Carolina did a pretty good job, and I used to live there with taking care of the snow, but it still was kind of bad there. They're not really heavily snow earners there. But, I just hope everybody everywhere, and I'm just not even say safe, everybody is safe when it comes to the snow, even the people in New York and Jersey and so on and so forth, where, they do have that support and help. Be with the people that is out there cleaning and shoveling. Be kind to everybody, man. Show love, spread love, because it is cold and ain't nobody got time for your bullshit. Okay? All right, man. This is episode 6 of the Kev Gotti Show. I'll be right back. All right, man. Welcome back to the Kev Gotti Show. It is episode 6. Y'all already know what we're doing. So, man, it is January 25th, and we're starting Mardi Gras this week. I don't know how to feel about that with these cold temperatures. We got a couple more. We got like 2 weeks before the end of season, but I'm just hoping and praying that we get some nice weather for Mardi Gras. I need like mid 60s, high 70s. Like, I really want to be in like a t-shirt and my jeans. It usually work out because the humidity down there is just so much different, but I don't know what these cold temperatures. The temperatures outside now is like 8 degrees. Like, let's check the current temperature right now. And it's the day before the actual snowstorm, because I had to take this a day early because of the snow. So it's 14 degrees right now. The low for the day was 10. The high was 18. Back on track with what I was saying, Mardi Gras season is upon us. See, I get sidetracked. Mardi Gras season is upon us, man. It is the weekend of February 13th. That is the final week of Mardi Gras, man. So, Fat Tuesday go on. Skinny Monday in Mobile. If you're familiar with Mobile, Mardi Gras, Zulu Ball, the Grand Marshal Ball, all of those things are balls in New Orleans and Mobile. I have family from New Orleans. I have family from Mobile. I have been to both Mardi Gras. We're going to stop this right now. On paper, it is said that Mobile is the home of Mardi Gras. So this talk that's online on TikTok every year, let's put it to rest, because on paper it say Mardi Gras originated in Mobile, Alabama. New Orleans, you made it the big celebration that it is. We all know that. Like, we all know that. But I think, it ain't even the people that's from down there that be making that conversation. It be people that, like, we can tell that, probably was born in New Orleans or born in Mobile and then left and moved away and now online trying to hype it up and ain't been home in years. Because really, who ain't going to both? Because that little drive, man, come on. As soon as you leave New Orleans and you hit Biloxi, then you in Mobile. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm going to go to New Orleans on Mardi Gras Day on that Tuesday. I do that in New Orleans. Like, my Mobile, they call it Fat Tuesday. I got family on my daddy's side. They pop up. They got land where they done had for years since I was a jit that they be at every year where they cook. They do all of the things and the things. Then you go to New Orleans. That's the final day, Mardi Gras Day. It's a little bit of a vibe in New Orleans. You appreciate that vibe. But Skinny Monday, I'm in Mobile. Skinny Monday on the Avenue, on MLK, what are you talking about? You better be outside. Like, what? So then you got Joe Kane Sunday in Mobile. I don't really do Joe Kane Sunday. I be in New Orleans. So my weekend go from Saturday, I be in Mobile, Sunday, New Orleans, Monday, Mobile, Tuesday, New Orleans. Then you out of there. Like, you really have to experience both, because Mobile is a little bit more intimate, if that makes sense. Mobiles have a little bit more family type of vibe and feel to it. Not to say New Orleans don't, because, New Orleans have parades that are not just the big parades like your Zulu Ball. They have no Zulu Ball. Zulu Ball is an actual ball. Like your Zulu parade. I'm talking a little too fast, y'all. like in Zulu Parade, you have that. They have other parades that go through neighborhoods like they do in Mobile, but I just think the feel in Mobile is a little bit more intimate. And when you go to New Orleans, it's really like a party and a celebration. So I think that they turned it into, what it was. But I'm going to just read the statement so we can clear it up. Mardi Gras' roots are in medieval or European carnival traditions brought to North America by French explorers, with the first organized U.S. celebration in Mobile, Alabama in 1703. Predating New Orleans' first official celebration in 1718. While New Orleans became famous for its elaborate festivities, Mobile claims the oldest continuous celebration in the U.S., started with French settlers who brought the Bouffe Gras tradition from France. But, man, I really got to say, though, people got to pick up a map, because if you look at like where Mobile is, Mobile is in Alabama. Mobile is on the port of the water. They call it the port city for a reason. I think that Mobile and New Orleans are so similar in so many ways, and I think that's why a lot of people mutated that way, because it's the closest to home and it gives them that same almost feel. Like it's some streets you be in Mobile, and you be like, am I in New Orleans? Or vice versa, you get what I'm saying? So I just think that, when it comes to who originated, who started it, Mobile did. But New Orleans, I gotta say, I have a time in the city as well. So I can't pick and choose it. I ain't gonna get into that argument. And I don't ever subscribe to it every year, but it'd be funny to see y'all bring it up every single year, man. Now, a topic that has came up a lot lately has been barbers. Barbers have been talking about how, the shops are slowing down, and, just the industry of barbering is not profitable. But I think
barbershops are slower, right? Because people are paying $65 once a month instead of $35 twice a month, right? You're making more money if you're $35, $40 with tip. You're making $80 versus $60 or $65. So once again, back to the original post, right? There is some restructuring of how people spend their money. Mm-hmm. The industry isn't losing money. The industry is making more money than ever before, but it's coming in a different format, in the form of a restructure.
Barbering is, I think, now becoming more than just a decent haircut. It's all about the black spray. It's all about, the extra added looks and who can do fix spacious hairline or balling. Like, it's more than just going to a barbershop how it used to be, where you can get a fresh cut. It could really last me for 2 weeks. Now I can go get a cut. That cut only lasts me 3-4 days. And what I've come to realize is a lot of that is because of the black spray method. When you sit in that chair and you come from an old school barber, and I like to say old school barber, like somebody like my pops that really went to the Bronner Brothers hair shows and, went to all of those events and went to the actual barbering school. Like, it's certain barbers that you can tell that's cut from a different cloth than these new age barbers, but it's no diss to them, because I rock with a lot of them. Like, shout out to one that I know. I got a couple. I ain't even finna do all that. But I just think, and they have a different technique and skill. And if you ever just sit and watch how OG might cut you versus somebody new, you will see that the cut or the time and effort is not the same. Coming in with the black spray and all of the added stuff, it gives it a look that, it looks better than a regular haircut. But then 2-3 days later, you land at home and your line ain't gone. Because all they did was hit the black spray, then hit the clippers on the black spray to edge that up on your skin. That's makeup, my dude. So welcome in those new barbers into your shops so that you can bring in a new clientele, but they can also appreciate the old. But I think that we can find a good mix. We need that. Get into a rapid fire. So first round of rapid fire, y'all already know how this go. My rapid fires are pretty much based on how I be feeling, because sometimes I just have to explain or sometimes I just go through. So first rapid fire, man, something you're working on. Me, myself, and I. Biggest pet peeve, liars. I can't stand a liar. Like, I am one of the most understanding people in this world. I'm a Libra. So I think that we try to find the best in people. We have a caring heart and a caring spirit, but my biggest pet peeve is a liar. And I tell people that all the time. And I just think people think, like, when somebody asks you, what's your pet peeve? And you be like, it's this or that. People will hear you say that, but people don't really believe that. And so when they do it and then you retaliate or you react, it's like I told you I didn't like liars. So my biggest pet peeve is a liar, man. Most used emoji. Man, come on. I think everybody most used emoji is the laughing crying emoji. I think we all use that one. Go to stress reliever. Ooh. Sit at the water or go for a walk. With my goods. And you know what my goods is? My green. Favorite way to spend a free day. Whew. These days, man, sleeping in. Like, I don't know where that came from. I used to be an early bird. I'm still an early bird. Like, I'll wake up, but I'm okay with just staying still and laying in the bed for hours upon hours. So favorite way to spend a free day, I would say that, or either, you know, just working on my craft and sharpening it. Have you ever felt behind in life? Whew. I think at some point we all probably felt behind in life. And, you know, me, I can say probably because of just looking at social media and comparing myself to others and people that was probably in my age range or my age or a little bit older that have things that I don't have or didn't have at that time. I think that we all at some point have felt that way because we were looking at others. And that's speaking for me. I can't throw that on y'all, but I can say for me, yeah, probably because I was looking at others and thinking like, hey, well, why don't I have this yet? But you know, yeah, I think that's just real. Do you give certain people better sex? Everybody over the age of 50, all my seniors and elders that's watching, aunties, uncles, cousins, you know, all the old folks. Turn it off. This is not your segment of the show. But do you give certain sex to better people? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you know it's some mild shit, you're not about to be going all the way in because you can't leave that impact on them. Like, you can't leave that impact for them to be like hitting you up after. Like, you gotta do like a mid job. Now, if it's I ain't gonna lie. I do poorly if it's some mild shit for real, for real. Like, I ain't gonna say poorly, but I just do me. So whether that's like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 12 minutes. Just don't do me because you mild shit. I'm not about to go in, but fine shit, oh, we going for hours. We going around after round for hours because I got to leave that impact. I got to show out. So absolutely, and I ain't the only one. Are you more logic or intuition? Oh, the Libra in me is going to say I'm more of a logical person. I would think myself off of a clip, so I'm always like logical. But I am in tune with intuition. I do think that at certain points in times, you got to really listen to that. Do you recharge alone or with people? I think you can do both. Recharging alone, just depending on what kind of mental state that you're in, is probably the best. But then sometimes recharging with people, like just your friend circle and y'all, that's people that bring you comfort or joy. That's a good way to recharge. You know, a good weekend with people, good vibes and good people. It's a good way to recharge. What's your comfort show? Nowadays, man, Young Sheldon on Netflix. I don't know if y'all ever seen Young Sheldon. I didn't know it was supposed to be like a spin off of Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. Like, I ain't know that. But yeah, Young Sheldon on Netflix. It's just been the only thing I've been watching. It's like nothing on TV. I did watch The Upshaws. As y'all know, this is the final season that is on Netflix. It's pretty sad, so I'm trying to watch that. Not really binge it like I used to do them because every time they do parts, and every time a part would drop, and I think this is the final part, which is 7. Every time a part would drop, I would just kind of, you know, binge it that same day it would drop. But I've been trying to watch that little by little. Miss Pat show, you know, I enjoy Miss Pat show. Shout out to Miss Pat and everybody on the cast. You know, I hope y'all continue to grow and just get it, man. Shout out to everybody over there. Something you're surprisingly good at. Cooking. And that's not surprisingly. It was just funny that I was doing a podcast when I used to do my podcast one time, and there was a guest. He was like, "Oh, can you cook? Because I seen you on Instagram, and you know you made a mimosa, and it exploded." For one, I don't know what making a drink got to do with cooking, but I cook my ass off, boy. So yeah. You know, man, other than talk about one thing that is actually hilarious to me that I didn't even know was a thing until I was talking to one of my partners the other day, and he was like, yo, you know, and he a younger dude, but he's younger than me, so he like my young bull, you know, and he was chatting with me like, yo, you know, I got to get my V because I'm trying to scoop the shorty, da-da-da-da-da, his Viz is whip. You know, so he like, oh, I got to get my whip because I'm trying to get with shorty, da-da-da, but she said she that, you know, don't have a car. you know, she don't really respect that ride the bus or the train. I'm like, huh? What? I ain't even know that was a thing. And then ever since we've had that conversation, I've only been seeing stuff like that on social media, like from my New York followers. Like they've been posting stuff with like one girl, she was on Canal Street and dude was like, you out here buying that fake shit? She was like, but you ain't got no car though, you're walking. I didn't know that was a thing, man. Do y'all realize that half of the people here are transplants, as y'all like to say? Like half of us are transplants, including me. So I came to this city to enjoy the luxury of not having to drive a car, pay a car note, pay insurance, get gas, pay tickets. Like, I came here for the enjoyment of the efficiency of y'all public transportation, like how you can go from one borough to the next in 10, 15 minutes, literally. Like, bro, what do you mean? Like, I didn't know that was a thing, but I guess people that have been growing up here, you know, and they've been riding the train, so they were 2 and 3 with their mama and grandma, you know, dragging them along, the 2 and the 4 and the 5 train and the G and the L. You know, I'm pretty sure they feeling the way and don't want to ride the train no more. But to use that as a break-in point in dating and to now know that it's really a thing. Like, it's not just something he was talking about. Like, it's really a thing out here. Like, it's really a thing. You know, that was weird to me because what if you come across somebody that, let's just say, got all kind of bank or got all kind of cars back home or back south or wherever they may live. It may not even have to be south. Come here for the efficiency of public transportation, because like, I think out of all of the New Yorkers here, over half of them use public transportation because of the convenience. I think having a car here is really a luxury. So, and the luxuries are not really needs. It's a luxury. So that's kind of funny and crazy to me. Don't ever think you're going to pull up with me, because I'm going to hop on that train. Now, we going on a date or something, you know, I'm going to call us a call. But me commute to work every day, I'm getting on that train. Like, I now live in Williamsburg. I'll share that with y'all. Y'all know I used to go to Williamsburg every day. If you watch my vlogs, I used to go out there, sit at the water. Now I live right over there. And it's a little weird neighborhood, you know. The YT people over there is a little weird. It's a little hipster kind of area. Like, real, yeah, like up and coming hipsy, like implants, like people that are not from here type area, and I'm the only one that be getting off at the stop that's my color, and you know, they just be cutting me off, like cutting in front of me, and I just be want to yank one of their ass. Like, I'm gonna just snatch somebody by one of their book bags one day, because these folks in New York be trying the fuck out of me. Like, I'm from the South, like I'm a gentleman, like I got like, that's not me, but bro, New York bring it out you. Like, I see why everybody here is so aggressive and so tight. Like, motherfuckers here is rude. Like, I've said this before, you can't even hold doors for people out here. But, you know, man, other than that, we just kicking and moving. This is episode 6. It's been a great conversation with y'all today. I really appreciate y'all for tuning in each and every week, supporting your boy Gotti. These videos keep climbing, and that's all I'm wanting, man. We just on the grind. I'm still on Broadway. Pull up and see me on Broadway. The reality is I'm on Broadway and you at home. 1619 Broadway, man. Pull up on Great Big Game Show. I'm still hosting. I think I just hit 100 shows just this past Friday, man. I hit 100 shows at Great Big Game Show. You know, I'm just thankful to God to be there, to be able to, you know, not only do something that I love, but to continue to sharpen my tool and, you know, just learn new things every day, you know, learn different ways and, you know, just engage in different conversations with different people from all different walks of life, and the doors that it is opening. I'm just glad, and I continue to thank God, and I'm forever humbled, and just remember that I'm walking the path laid before me, man. It's your boy Kev Gotti. Until the next episode, you know, I don't know if we're going to get an episode next week, but the following episode, I know we will do an episode on the road going to Mardi Gras. So the Kev Gotti Show will be on the road. We'll be live. You know, it's a road trip, man. So we'll be live and in color. You know, that's going to be a good time. But I think we will get an episode before then. But if I don't see y'all until then, y'all ain't ready to do, man. Smash that bell button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's your boy Kev Gotti. I am logging out, man. This is episode 6. Peace.